Hello everyone, welcome to Pallikudam Smart Boards. This is Dhanya taking you through some smart updates for all stakeholders in education. Let's start with smart news. University of Geneva has released a report on their new study that focuses on a malformation that illustrates the incredible plasticity of the brain in children with corpus callosum agenesis. The neural fibers inside each hemisphere are greater in number and of higher quality than in healthy brains. Also, the scientists succeeded in determining the correlations between the activity of different brain regions and their functional links. In the not too distant future, we could imagine using MRI imaging to predict whether the malformation observed by ultrasound runs the risk of being associated with cognitive impairment or not, and so better inform future parents, says Vanessa Sifredi, a researcher in the university's Faculty of Medicine. Now, let me take you to the major stories of Pallikudam Smart Boards this week. Becoming a YouTuber has become the most popular goal of our children and teenagers. We can't blame as they are growing surrounded by screens and the huge influence of digital contents. However, in a new study published in the journal Pediatrics, researchers at NYU School of Global Public Health and NYU Grossman School of Medicine warned that kids with popular YouTube channels are frequently promoting unhealthy food and drinks in their videos. Mary Bragg, Assistant Professor of Public Health Nutrition at NYU School of Global Public Health, says that when finding videos for young children to watch, millions of parents turn to videos of kid influencers. The growing popularity of these YouTube videos have caught the attention of companies who advertise or sponsor posts to promote their products before or during videos. Researchers said that it was concerning to see that kid influencers are promoting a high volume of junk food in their YouTube videos, and that those videos are generating enormous amounts of screen time for these unhealthy products. So, they encourage federal and state regulators to strengthen and enforce regulations of junk food advertising by kid influencers. Seoul National University in South Korea offers an excellent facility named First Year Seminar, Creativity and Challenge for its first year students every year. The seminar courses enable students to explore various research topics. It consists of lectures, small group discussions and field trips. Each class is limited to 10 to 20 students to foster effective discussion. Through exploring fascinating cross-disciplinary topics in seminar courses, students realize that the things they learn in college are closely linked to solving real-life problems. Students conduct surveys and experiments on their own. As they explore new ideas, they also realize that failure is not something to be afraid of, but something to learn from. Mosquitoes, they always bring just irritation. Beyond this nuisance factor, mosquitoes are carriers of some of humanity's most deadly illnesses. Now, there is a breakthrough research from Macquarie University in Australia. Dr. Masij Meselko, a CSIRO Synthetic Biology Future Science Fellow in Applied Biosciences at the university, says that a new designer fruit fly paves the way for scientists to replace disease-carrying mosquitoes with harmless, genetically modified versions. The team's technique, called Engineered Genetic Incompatibility or EGI, involves using the gene editing tool CRISPR-Cas9 to make a harmless genetic mutation and introducing a gene activator that looks for the original DNA sequence. By ensuring that the engineered species and the wild species cannot produce offspring, the technique also solves one of the risk factors in introducing engineered species into the environment. The eventual purpose of introducing EGI species is to eradicate or dramatically reduce populations of invasive species and insects that are harmful to human health or to the environment without the use of chemical pesticides like DDT and without risking unintended consequences from removing an element from a functioning ecosystem. One of the big questions facing school leaders right now is what things will look like when schools reopen. Naftali Hoff, the president of Impactful Coaching and Consulting in the USA, suggests that the school leaders should strongly consider looping, at least through the first portion of the academic calendar. Looping is the term when teachers advance with their students from one grade level to the next. He says there are many advantages to looping, including increased familiarity with and understanding of their pupils, which allows teachers to better meet student needs and assist the learners in working more comfortably and confidently. Mr. Hoff says that schools that do choose to loop temporarily should identify a transition point in the first part of the year so that everyone can stay focused on the goals of re-establishing normalcy and quickly closing academic gaps. The Communist Party of China Central Committee has issued a guideline for deeper reform of its evaluation system for students, teachers and schools. This is to facilitate the cultivation of young people with moral, intellectual and physical capabilities. It also aims at improving artistic appreciation as well as a healthy work ethic and work skills. The guidelines also stressed the need to adhere to scientific evaluation principles and eliminate long-term problems in education evaluation standards. Teachers' ethics should be the most important criterion in the evaluation of their performance and qualification for professional titles and awards, it said. Universities should set a minimum number of classes that professors need to give undergraduate students, and experience studying abroad should not be used as a condition when hiring university teachers. IIT Bombay has launched a self-help website named Bandhu for its students to enhance their emotional well-being. It addresses challenges ranging from adjustment to college life, academic stress and mental health. The website Bandhu has curated reads, motivational alumni journeys, expert podcasts and tools for self-exploration. Project Bandhu was initiated by alumni of the class of 1992 as a part of their Silver Jubilee Union in 2017. You can read all these stories and many more on our website www.pallikudam.com. Now moving on to Smart Quiz. Let's have a quick look at the answer of Smart Quiz last week. The question was, name a clinical trial in which blood is transfused from recovered COVID-19 patients to a coronavirus patient who is in a critical condition. And the answer is option A, plasma therapy. And now coming to this week's question. World Diabetes Day is celebrated on 14th November. What is the theme of World Diabetes Day 2020? Let me repeat. World Diabetes Day is celebrated on 14th November. What is the theme of World Diabetes Day 2020? And your options are option A, the nurse and diabetes, option B, cure diabetes, option C, family and diabetes, and option D, education for diabetic. Please write your answers in the comments and get featured in the next episode. We'll be back next week with a new set of updates for you. Meanwhile, don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe our YouTube channel for more updates from Pallikudam. Thank you. Goodbye.